comes to mind when you hear the word self-care? Meditating, hiking, spa day, wine. Yes, 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 and in moderation, yes. Self-care is anything that an individual does to take care of themselves. Specifically those things that a person finds pleasurable and those things that make them feel good. Good can mean calm and relaxed. Good could also mean energized, light, and alive. So basically those joyful things that we do to recharge so we don't get consumed by the busyness and the seriousness of our lives. So this week we did a self-care workshop because as people going into the helping profession, it is particularly important that we know how to and that we take the time to take care of our own needs so that we are able to really show up and hold space for our clients and their needs. Making time for ourselves ultimately allows us to show up for other people in a more authentic and attentive way. It's like the airplane safety instructions. You must secure your own mask before helping another person. In this way, self-care is very important, not just for counselors, but for everybody. If I don't take time to do things that are purely pleasurable for myself, then I start to get fussy and irritable. I have no patience. I snap at my loved ones. In general, I'm just a very unpleasant person to be around. So in the workshop, we were asked to brainstorm ways that we could exercise self-care. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So we had a big class discussion about all the different types of self-care that people practice. There were a lot of similarities. Eat healthy, exercise, spend time in nature. But there were also a lot of differences. For example, the one big one that I always hear when people talk about self-care is yoga. I get it. It's very lovely. And it's not my cup of tea. Send me to a cardio kickboxing class, however, and I come out feeling like $1 million. That said, cardio kickboxing is not always the answer, not even for me. What we do for self-care can vary from day to day, just depending on how we feel and what kind of mood we're in. Some days I am just like humming with all of this stuck energy and I just need to shake it out. And so I will dance around my apartment to Prince or Whitney Houston. I'll roll down a grassy hill like a child, or I'll just sing at the top of my lungs in my car until my throat hurts. Other days, all I want to do is just curl up with a cup of tea and just read a book, watch a movie, or just have like a really good chat with a friend. One thing that we all did agree on in the workshop was that it is really hard to find the time to actually do these things because they don't seem like a priority. Even though in the long run, these really are some of the best things that you can do for your well-being. I do know how important self-care is, and I always try to factor it into my schedule, but then factoring it in some way makes it seem less pleasurable and self-care-y and more business. And then I don't enjoy it as much. But if I don't put it into my schedule, then often I don't do it. So I think the consensus was try to make a plan because it does help, and hopefully eventually the plan will fall away and it will just become habit. However, if you do make a plan and you are unable to stick to it, do not beat yourself up about it because that will only exacerbate the symptoms of low self-care. Whether you make a plan or not, however, do try to work some self-care into your day. Even if you just take a half an hour every day and set it aside as time that you can waste on whatever you feel like wasting it on that particular day. And then see what kind of effect it has on your overall well-being and the way that you are able to show up for others. Also, feel free to share in the comment section below some of your favorite self-care practices. That's all I have for you today for a little lesson with a touch of insight. So go eat chocolate, listen to music, get lost in a good book, have sex alone. Just take care of yourself, and I will see you next week.